We're the Con Guys, and this is the Con Guy Show, coming to you straight from the nerdy heart of Hollywood, California.
Hey, this is Jim with theconguy.com.
Cheeseman here with theconguy.com.
Katie here, aka the Con Girl.
Rodan did not want 5 teenagers with attitude.
My name is Derek Sam.
I'm Danae Sams, and that's my brother.
We are your home for news, opinions, and interviews from the world of Comic-Cons and fandoms. Your ultimate insiders for all things Con!
Yeah. I still miss Ben's improvised theme music.
Dun, 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 dun.
Welcome, everybody.
Back in the day. It is WonderCon week, and boy, am I excited. But welcome, everybody, to the Con Guy Show. And as we said earlier, yes, we are coming to you from straight from the heart, the nerdy heart of Hollywood, California, which is just up the road from the heart of Anaheim, California, which this weekend becomes Geek Central as the incredible, fantastical, most sensational, inspirational, wonderful fan convention known as WonderCon descends on the Anaheim Convention Center, which is directly across the street from Disneyland Resort, for a 3-day pop culture and fan-filled days of cosplay, panels, exclusives, comic books, celebrity autographs, and so much more. My name is Jim Fry. I am here with the ConGuy.com editor-in-chief. Who else do we have with us tonight? We'll start up here right next to me. Katie?
Hey everyone, it's me, the solo Con Girl representation tonight, KT, aka Katie Christine, repping the Con Girls and all the OG team right here, excited to finally be talking about what we are here for. Conventions.
That's right.
Because we haven't really been able to talk about conventions much for 2 years. Because 2 years ago, we would have been preparing to go to WonderCon, but so we're back.
All right, Cheese.
I guess the Con Guys and Con Girls are officially back. I mean, it's con season again. So look at us go here. So Cheeseman here, still not on a couch, still in a chair, still doing the virtual thing. I'm a screenwriter and also one of the founding members of theconguy.com. And we are excited to see you this weekend, especially you, those who are coming to WonderCon.
What's hanging off your coat there, Luke? Cheeseman?
Is that what you're looking at? This old thing?
What is that?
It says Gotham City. This is a Hero Within jacket.
Hero Within? What's that?
Hero Within.
Tell us. Hear more about that. Derek,
raise your hand if you're wearing it. Yeah.
Hey, you skipped Ben.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going around the clockwise.
Oh, my bad. I just didn't want to leave Ben out because, we all sort of like him.
I talk too much, so he leaves me for last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, hi. True. I'm Derek Sams. I'm also a writer and various other things, including dad and sometimes angry old man. And I'm a regular here on The Con Guy and a contributor for theconguy.com.
Very cool. All right. Buddy Ben. Hey, everyone. It's me, old buddy Ben. Hey, I am so stoked because okay. So Katie was like, 2 years ago, and then there was a plague, and we would have been getting ready. By the way, I love that meme from The Witcher where they're like, everybody at WonderCon this weekend, I haven't seen you since the plague. We did kind of go away during the pandemic. However, in many ways, we never really left because we still did digital Power Rangers panels during the pandemic. We did a couple of them, and I'm very excited to talk a little bit more about what we're going to be doing at WonderCon this weekend. Just a little bit later, of course, this whole show is going to be about WonderCon, and WonderCon is, of course, a very, very special convention for me because it is where I met my wife, the lovely.
I was hoping you would talk about this.
And I am so excited that it is back. It is both individually and collectively, my wife and I, it is our favorite convention. So just excited about it. For those of you who may be uninitiated or unfamiliar, WonderCon is the baby brother or baby sister of San Diego Comic-Con. It's the same company. It's essentially just kind of a lightly smaller
San Diego Comic-Con. It actually has a lot of the same stuff that you could find or see at San Diego, minus some of the huge tentpole announcements and stuff like that. But there's still a lot of really great, really big stuff. They still get a lot of really big stars to come and do panels, signings. You can still get all the same great merch that you would normally get at San Diego Comic-Con. People from all over the country come, so it is a blast, and I could not be more excited to be going back this weekend. Jim, take it away.
That is such a great introduction. Let's say hello to a few people. Jonathan Wilkinson, what's up, kids? Good to see you.
Hey.
Joel the Geek, greetings
Joel
from
the
the PNW. What's PNW? Pacific Northwest. Pacific North. That's good to see you.
Awesome. Welcome.
Yes, because he picked up a Hero Within at
Emerald
City Comic Con.
Nice. Which one? You'll have to tell us which one on that.
Yeah, which code? Because go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I have never been to Emerald City Comic Con. I would love to go.
Right.
First of all, I love the Pacific Northwest. I think it's beautiful up there. I like cool, rainy weather, so that's a plus as well. And I grew up in Kansas, so I feel like it's my destiny to visit the Emerald City.
Checking in from Southeast Pennsylvania.
Yay.
Wow. Nice. Welcome.
Cool. Brian, are you coming to WonderCon?
Yeah.
That would be great. Hey, I just want to kind of back up what Ben was saying. I think WonderCon is my favorite convention. It's not the scope and grandeur of San Diego Comic-Con. And, there's very little that is. But it's got the gravitas, the panels, the star power of Comic-Con, but with kind of an accessibility that makes it just so great. And like one of the things I love about WonderCon is, for one thing, it's not as hard to get into. There are still tickets available, I'm pretty sure, for this weekend's event. It probably will sell out. I'm not sure.
It's hard to know.
Yeah,
we're still
this year,
in
when we're just coming back, it's hard to predict.
Yeah, we're in the waning days of sort of endemic, sort of going down a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like we'll see. There's a lot of people, and we still have some health guidelines that we're gonna have to be following: masks and vax or a negative. So it's gonna be a different kind of year. We're gonna see how it goes. But I got to tell you, checking out the panel roster, there's more TV and film and star power for those who, if that's what you like, than there was at the Comic-Con special edition. This is actually, in my opinion, it's a better convention than they threw in San Diego over Thanksgiving. So I'm super stoked about it. I do have to say this as well, though. It's been and Katie, this is true, and Luke, this has been kind of a challenging convention to be getting ready for. Katie, I know that you and your particular past situation was a challenge. Me and Luke, I'm going to tell you, I love the organizers of San Diego Comic-Con and WonderCon. I'm still not 100% sure that I've got a pass, but we'll see. I'm going to be there. Who cares? I'm kidding. I've got a pass. We're going to be there. It's just like they've got a new pass system, which makes it all but impossible to know who you have signed up and who you don't have signed up. I know, Derek, I signed you and Laura up, and then I tried to cancel you because Derek's saving the country or training to, but I can't figure out how to do that. So anyways, wait, Jonathan, Joel the Geek did say, I got the utility Batman coat. I wear it almost every day and holds up well in the rain we have in the Seattle area. Boy, we got some rain yesterday. If that was
If I'd known you guys were going to have your Hero Within coats, I would have worn mine tonight.
Well, we might or might not be having a special guest tonight. I don't know. Anyways, this is what we're talking about tonight, guys. We're going to talk about WonderCon. Katie, though, is going to give us a little bit of an update, some Comic-Con updates, some convention update, which is why we exist. We're also going to talk a little bit about some exclusives that are coming out. We're going to be talking about our favorite panels, and we'll a little bit about hotels, talk a little bit about the logistics of getting around in Anaheim, maybe some tips for having the best kind of convention, how to meet fellow nerds of the same interest level, and just kind of and there's actually some offsites and photo shoots that we can tell you about as well. So, anyways, Derek, I got to ask you, WonderCon. Wait. Let me. Here's one more. Brian W. I have a Batman heavy pea coat from Hero Within.
Nice.
Dude,
This
that
is a Hero
Batman
Within
heavy pea coat,
That one's awesome.
Batman heavy pea coat is the bomb.
It is
dude.
cool.
That thing is awesome.
One of my favorite all-time costumes that Derek wore, and I wish I had it ready to show you. I might go find it. Was at WonderCon. I think it was WonderCon downtown. Can you guess what it was? Derek?
Reminded of this.
All of your costumes are crazy. Wait, which cosplay do you think I'm talking about?
Are you talking about Agent Mulder?
Yes, it's in our promo.
Yeah.
Derek.
Yeah.
Derek has describe for those who aren't watching what it is or who are listening.
There's a kind of a notorious episode of the X-Files that in the beginning, I think there's like a cold open with some kind of, introducing whatever monster of the week was going on. And then it just cuts to Fox Mulder swimming laps in a pool, and he gets out and he's just in a red Speedo while some guy shows up to debrief him. Well, that's the wrong word. The history of the
For
week.
Derek, it is.
Yeah. And then, so I thought, hey, for an Agent Mulder cosplay, I decided to go with like the suit top with like the shirt and tie, and I had an Agent Mulder badge, and then red Speedo bottoms in lieu of suit pants. Got a lot of interesting reactions to that. I think I also had goggles on, just like, he got out of the pool and got dressed in a hurry.
Were you and Laura married yet?
I think we were engaged at that point. Wait, no, we wouldn't have been. I think we were
say,
dating.
got you
Almost
It
engaged.
got you a wife, Derek. It
If
got
was
you a wife.
WonderCon.
It worked out well for you. All right, guys. Here's what we're going to talk about first. This is a big WonderCon for the con guy, and we're just going to get this right out of the way because we have some kind of cool announcements to make that we haven't been able to make in the past. And Luke Cheeseman, he just disappeared. So this is what happened. We actually do have an awesome panel coming up at WonderCon this weekend. And let me go ahead and tell you, we have been so privileged, and Ben has been so great at being our facilitator and our moderator for our Power Rangers panel. So we are going to have a Power Rangers panel again this weekend on Sunday at 2:30. It's going to be, and we'll tell you the room in just a second. But Rangers, returning Power Rangers is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a blast, and we're so excited to do that. But something that we're doing different this year is that we actually we have a table on the convention floor this year for the entire time. We have 72 hours of programming to fill on the convention floor. And we didn't know about this until last week. So it was. So that being said,
hours?
Wait, how many hours is in 3? I don't know, 3 days. Yeah,
I mean,
we're
like
programming
3 days, but without sleep.
Yeah, that would be 24 hours a day. Is our booth going to be open 24 hours a day, Jim?
Yes, that's what's so different about it.
24 hours, we sleep there, we wake up, we shower and bathe there, we wear Speedos there, and
boy, that ought to get a lot of traffic.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we have this panel. It's a great location on the floor. We're close to the exhibitors and other autograph areas. And Cheeseman, I'm going to let you tell who we have. Hold one second as we go through the panel list here. Let me go back. So, anyways, starting on Thursday morning, theconguy.com will have a panel, and we will have a number of celebrity signings beginning. Wait. I'm a big dodo brain because geez, Willikers, Jim, what did you do?
Geez, what?
Uh-oh. Did you ruin
By the way, while you guys are figuring this out, can I give an update for some stuff about
please
WonderCon?
do. Yeah,
mainly because I was curious about the COVID stuff, and I think it's important to be aware of it before you go. There is vaccine requirement or negative COVID test within 72 hours. But I just found out that it has to be provided by, your test has to be done by a certified lab, clinic, or physician. So that's problematic. So just a heads up, if you guys are planning on going on Friday, you might want to find a lab that will do it. before then because it says home tests will not be accepted. That's a little frustrating because I know that's what most people have access to, but I'm hoping there's no info about whether or not there will be a testing station there. That would be a good idea, but
there will
I would imagine
they'll have a
unless
testing station.
Yeah,
they will?
unless they're planning on dealing with a bunch of nerd rage, I would imagine they'll have testing on site.
Yeah, they did. It's like they did at San Diego Comic-Con, Katie. They had a number of testing tents and facilities set up right outside the gates, right outside the entrance to the convention center. They'll be doing the same thing here.
Yeah, they don't say anything about it on their website, so I'm hoping that's the case. But
it is. I mean, I like Ben said, it would be a disaster not to have that available.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Because that's a big thing that a lot of people who are coming from out of town, especially who don't know the rules for California, it's a big thing to think about when you guys are coming to anything in California, even right now, because people are still requiring COVID tests or vaccinations at their discretion. And with an event that's this big inside, that's why. So, and let's be real, it could change tomorrow.
I know. Well, true. So. And let's just, I don't want people to freak out. Like, we are kind of relaxing some of the requirements. And to be honest, down in Orange County, around Disney and everything, it's been relaxed. People can go inside, you can eat inside. Yeah. But because there's so many people gathered underneath one roof, they're just taking some extra precaution right now to make sure that WonderCon is not the cause of another spike. You know what I'm saying? That would just be the worst for business. All right. So, Cheeseman, are you ready to? Yeah, we are. Well, the thing is, I left out perhaps one of our most important guests who will be kicking off our weekend. So we have a full schedule for Friday, Saturday, Sunday at our booth. Our booth is listed. Where's our booth at, Luke?
It is booth DL. Is it DL31?
Yep, DL31, right smack in the middle of the convention floor. And beginning our weekend at WonderCon is Mr. David Bowerham himself, comic book writer extraordinaire. Whoops.
And a delightful human being.
Question.
He's great. Yep.
Can I ask a question about our signings? Because I haven't actually asked you this yet. Our signings, is there any more information we have about how they're going to work? Like, do people have to buy his comic book from him? Or is it just like they can bring anything and have him sign for our signings?
I'm just going to be right up front. Most people sitting at our booth will be taking money for autographs. So David's going to be David. I don't think he necessarily is selling his autograph, but he will have a number of his books. He's going to have a lot of his books right there. And David's he's got a lot going on.
Sure.
Yep.
I just want to make sure so people know to be prepared to spend some money, for signings.
Oh yeah, that's a great question, Katie. This isn't, guys. These people aren't coming out, just to sit around and I'm going to make it. That sounds terrible. They don't want to just be there because they love it. But they do. David would do it, and he even asked us, "Should I bring books to sign?" I said, "Absolutely, bring your books to sign." Yeah. Kanto, Killer Queens, Rain, and the current run of Firefly. So David's got a lot of comic books going on right now. He is a big deal, and we are, as much as we like to tease him
He's
about
the hottest ticket in town.
He really is. And so if
and
you guys
friend of
love
the con guy, obviously.
Yes. All right, our next
but to answer
guest,
Katie's question, a lot of times guests they do charge a fee to signings that you bring. So usually, it's one of the smaller fees, but a lot of the people, when you do the signings, you still pay for the signature, even if you do bring something.
Yeah. But it's not like the ones have other conventions where it's $100 to just get into the signing. Yeah, it's not like that. But I just wanted to make sure people know that it's not just a walk up.
Dick Van Dyke was not at this one, like D23, where that was like $100 to $200.
No, but to Katie's point, a lot of the conventions, they're autograph shows. I mean, that's how they're run. They're autograph shows, and they have a list of 120 people who are there. Like in 2 weeks here in Hollywood, they're having the Hollywood Autograph Show. People selling their autographs for upwards $65 to $100. You can get in the picture with them for a couple of people for $165. It's a racket. But you know what?
Yeah.
It is what it is. David will be actually selling comic books. You buy a comic book, he signs it. He is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and I can't wait to hang out with David. Me and Luke met
nice
David.
to you. Just kidding.
Oh, he hates Luke. He hates him to death. No, me and Luke, a lot of us, we met David at WonderCon, and we become friends. We now see him at San Diego Comic-Con and whatnot, and we met him at the Hilton Bar after the convention. So, all right.
I met him at the Hilton Bar. Yep.
Yeah. So here's our next guest. This one's a biggie. I love this one. Greg Berg. He is a renowned voice actor. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers, Dark of the Moon, Garfield and Friends, Muppet Babies, The Simpsons, Yo-Yogi, Monsters, Inc., the video game. He's going to be there from 1:30 to 6. So make sure you guys come out. This guy, it's just, we had a privilege of talking with him. He has a long career, and you look him up on IMDb, and wow, I'm just really kind of blown away. Yep, that we
remember the days when we actually watched cartoons on Saturday mornings when we didn't have streaming services to just let our kids
Saturday
watch
morning
them all day.
cartoons, sitting
The best.
But
in front
The
of
best.
He was there.
But real quick, guys, to finish
All you
out
need was
Friday,
cereal.
finish out Friday at our booth, this is what I'm so excited about. I cannot believe we have these guys here with us. Anson Williams, Don Most. We have Ptsd and Ralph Mouth from Happy Days, the classic show, who will be with us. Also, Anson Williams was on Vern and Shirley, Baywatch, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. He's now an accomplished director. He directs a lot of TV, so it's going to be cool to have him with us. And then Don Most, Happy Days, Glee, Ed TV. He was also on Star Trek Voyager in a really cool episode, and Family Guy. And here's the question that everybody wants to know. Are Ptsd and Ralph still buddies to this day? The answer is yes. They're coming together. They're palling
I was
around.
gonna say if they weren't, that's gonna be awkward.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, I just think
Comic-Con is into wrestling, so that could evolve very cool if they do have some conflicts.
Like Brian W. just said, my and I apologize, my computer's going a little bit slow tonight. Holy Happy Days. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about this. All right, Cheeseman, take us through, and I'll just pull it up. That's
Actually,
it
I
for
think Ben's
Friday,
good.
guys. Oh, wait. Tell you what, guys. We are going to pause right now, and we're going to switch over to, we have a very special guest who is joining us.
Yeah.
That special guest is Mr. Tony Kim himself from Hero Within.
Hey!
Hello.
It's been like 10 years since I've seen you.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while since I've seen you, Tony. I know you saw these guys, more recently, but
Yeah. We had a brief con encounter a few months back. I mean, that was still like 5 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago. So
Yeah.
it's been a while.
Tony, the last we saw you, was out. We were having your outdoor meal at some restaurant many blocks away from the convention center. I forgot because the location we wanted to go to had closed down, and then
Right, yeah.
it was crazy. But Tony, thank you for joining us tonight, and I want everybody to know this is such an honor. Tony has some exclusives that he is debuting at WonderCon this weekend, and we and the Con Guy are the first to get a chance to take a look at it. So, Tony, I have loaded up your photos, and I'm just going to kind of go through them and let you talk to us about them. But before we do, just tell us, what's your WonderCon experience going to be like this coming weekend? What's going on with you?
Well, this is really our first big show back for 2022. I mean, when you think about it, that Comic-Con special edition, back in November. So again, 4 months ago. So it's been quite a while since me and the team have been back in circulation. So honestly, I'm just going to be so happy to be back. I mean, it's been, as you guys already talked about, it's been 3 years since the last WonderCon. So I'm just going to be so happy to be back. I'm going to be kicking off the dust and just kind of trying to get back into the swing of things. And so for this to be our first big show of the year, it's pretty late. This is the start in April is late. So, as we all know, the pandemic has just sort of gone on and on and on, and it's really impacted everyone in this kind of the small business industry like myself. And so I'm just going to be so happy to be back in the swing of things, back with fans, see you all, and just to be out there selling again.
Tony, thank you so much. And we just want you to know that in honor of Hero Within, many of us are fully decked out in our
noticed.
hero.
I saw
Katie?
that. I'm so happy.
In the now gone Marvel license, but I got this in what 2018, Tony? Is that when it cropped? Was it 2018?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because I was like, it wasn't the last con when he still had the Marvel license, and if you can't see the inside, I'm gonna try to turn around real quick because the back is the best part. But it has like the
Yes.
And they have so many pockets, by the way, these bomber jackets. Like, my favorite pocket is the one for your pens right here.
Yeah.
And then there's a zip pocket right here, which kept my when I had to camp out in line, I put stuff in these so people couldn't grab them off me. So, and there's pockets inside. So you don't need any purse with these.
Yep.
With women not having pockets, they're great. They're great.
Yeah. Well, we love pockets.
And then they all have the nameplate on them.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
Fashion show goes on. Who's next? Cheeseman, what you got?
I got the Batman jacket. Got this recently at Comic-Con from home. I know it's dark, but there is a Batman logo on the back.
Yeah.
And there is some lovely yellow and lots of pockets, as Katie said, as well.
Yeah.
And this one, are these still for sale on the website?
No, we just kind of finished it. We have just a few left of like some of the larger sizes, but yeah, well, those are sold out too. So yeah.
Wow.
And then last but not least, Derek, is that yours as well?
Yeah, this one is. This is the Picard jacket. This was my wife's present for graduation present for me recently when I finished my coding boot camp. It's got, of course, the Starfleet logo here, the nice little delta on the back. And you can see I'm getting there with the Picard hairdo. Let's see. And you can switch it out for, I have my cool little tab, like what Luke was sporting earlier, to say boldly go. Yep. And you can change out these. I usually keep JL Picard here, but you can change it out for Kirk or Pike. I think Janeway is an option. There are several great ones.
Yeah, or you can customly get your own. They'll hook you up with the company that does them. I emailed them, and then I have an old Avengers bomber that I actually have Cheeseman on it. So I could do that on any of the jackets because they're interchangeable.
And Tony, Brian W is watching right now. He says he's currently wearing the anniversary Batman hoodie.
Oh, I got that one as well.
Now, I'm not wearing them right now, but I wear the Hero Within Con Life jogger sweatpants regularly because we're all at home. And I'm debating whether I should wear those to the con floor because they are extremely comfortable and they're super warm.
Yeah.
Tony, I think what we're all trying to say is if you ever need models on the con
I
floor,
know it.
just let us know. We got you covered.
Well, that's Nathan Wilkeson, though, because he's currently wearing nothing. And he's at a bar and they're asking him to leave. That's probably a great idea. All right, Tony.
He sounds like my ideal customer. He needs clothes. So.
He needs clothes.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, before we jump into your panels, though, I mean, we're about to pull you up your clothes. What panel? You've got a panel or two you're doing this weekend too.
Yeah.
Right?
So we have a couple panels. One's on Friday at 3:30. It's called Pop Culture versus the World, and that's kind of I've done this panel at a couple shows, and it really is an opportunity to have panelists talk about fun fictional scenarios, but then also use as a segue into in real life scenarios. Like, for instance, I'm sure we're going to be talking about the crazy drama from the Oscars this past weekend, and so we kind of use it as an opportunity to fans to talk about fun pop culture topics, but then also related to real life events as well. So that's called Pop Culture versus the World. That's going to be at 3:30, and then on Saturday I have the Survivor's Guide for Building a Brand, and I have some awesome content creators kind of talking about how, through the pandemic, not only have consumers changed, but also content creators have changed. How we create content and what we do, kind of the art we put out there has been altered irrevocably because of the pandemic. And so we're going to kind of talk through that and hopefully inspire young content creators to get out there and do their thing. And that's already Saturday at 10 o'clock. That one, so.
Yep. I have that one marked. All right, guys, we are going to jump into what Tony has in store for this coming week. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to jump in. Tony, I'm going to kind of like, first, we're going to start here. This is Tony.
Hey, look at that guy.
Hey.
Pre-pandemic hair, so there you go.
All right. Let's go ahead and start
Okay. So yeah, I'm so glad you guys have been wearing these bombers because they've been so popular. Like since we've been doing these bombers in different forms and fashion, like we've gotten so much requests because everyone needs a bomber jacket, and so we've expanded our Star Trek line. We're calling this our officers bombers, and so Derek, like your Picard jacket, that was originally the captain's bomber that featured different captains nameplates on with the jacket. But this one that we decided to do all three command colors that have for each color specific characters that go with that color. Brilliant. So for instance, up front we have the James Kirk nameplate, but that also comes with Data and Sulu and Pike for the upcoming series. And so each of the command colors will have the corresponding characters that go with it. So that's really exciting. I'm really excited about that. So this was the plan all along. If the Captain's Bombers was a success, to be able to introduce a whole line of bombers that coordinate for all the colors in Star Trek. Right. And then so next we have our Rodan jacket. So our classic Godzilla collection has been super popular. Like I'm really surprised. Like I love Godzilla, but it wasn't until we started featuring some of our new Godzilla collection that I really just was blown away by the passion of the Godzilla fandom. And so a lot of fans have been requesting Rodan. So this is our Rodan piece in our sort of fusion Japanese streetwear style. And I didn't send these pics, but we sold out of our Mothra jacket and our Godzilla King of the Monster jacket. So we actually restocking those at WonderCon as well. So,
nice.
So anyone that has as a fan of Godzilla, definitely come by the booth for that. And
Jim,
then,
just want you to know, I was there, and you guys sold out so fast in San Diego. So I know.
He'll be back.
So those are all restocked for WonderCon.
Nice.
All right, cool.
So this is something very special to me. This is starting a collection called the Founders Collection. And so basically, so I paint. I like to paint. I painted my whole life, and so I've done a number of paintings, pop culture related, and I'm converting them to some fashion pieces. And so I took the Van Gogh inspired the Vincent and the Doctor episode and sort of made this piece in honor of that. And so in fact you can see I have the original artwork here behind me in the office if you want to come back to me right here.
Yeah.
So I'm taking a number of these pieces, and for anyone who is interested in my art and seeing it in a apparel format, then those will be available. Those are going to be made to order, pre-order at WonderCon. So if you come and give us your size, we'll ship it to you in about a month or so.
Oh, awesome.
Tony, that's amazing. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt here real quick.
Go ahead.
Tony, that's amazing because as you know my wife Bree, and we have the painting of the exploding TARDIS hanging above our fireplace in our living room. And Vincent and the Doctor is her favorite episode. So I am sure, and Bree also loves crop tops. She's got the Godzilla crop top zip up. So, or was it a zip up or a pullover? I can't remember.
Pullover.
Yeah, that was a pullover. But so she's absolutely going to want a Van Gogh inspired Tony original. Crop top hoodie. That's 100%. After we got off the show, I'm gonna Jim send me the picture of that. I'm gonna show it to her, and her eyes are gonna fall out of her skull.
Yeah. Well, I love painting.
So Tony,
and
Brian says he loved Tony's take on the art from that great Who episode. So that's cool.
Yeah, and all the props, obviously the Van Gogh. I mean, he was the one that really did all the heavy lifting in this design. I just basically cribbed it from him. But I love painting, and I love pop culture, and I just kind of I've done a number of work, so I merged it together, and you'll be seeing those appear on apparel for Here Within.
All right,
For those
of
artists
Doctor Who-
out there,
Wait,
Sorry, I saw that
What,
picture.
Luke?
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
we all.
go ahead, Luke. Luke,
Quick question. So for those artists out there, how long did it take you to paint that?
This was it wasn't too bad. I mean, a couple of days, and so it wasn't too bad. Again,
Okay.
because Van Gogh had done all the heavy lifting on it. It wasn't that bad. But
Standing on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah, it's a large painting. It's a 3 foot by 4 foot or so. So that took time, but otherwise it wasn't.
Is that acrylic?
Yeah.
did you do the other paintings behind you over there?
No, those are not. These are not. So.
All right. Let's jump to the next one here. We just got a
Yeah,
couple
so,
more.
Yes.
So
You can change the. Oh my goodness.
So again, bombers have been very popular, and the Doctor Who fandom have been asking for their bomber. So we made a TARDIS bomber that is, as you can see, larger on the inside with the interior of the. This is the 11th, 12th Doctor interior, and then you have the 5 different Doctors that you can exchange in your name patches. So.
Oh,
Very cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you put the
Take
number of
money.
the doctors on it.
Yeah. So really excited.
All right.
Yeah, I've been wanting that forever.
Tony, is this a pre-order, or are you going to have these at the con?
No, we'll have this one at the con too. So everything up to this point are going to be at the con, with the exception of we'll have samples of the painting hoodies, but everything else will be there. Yeah, the samples will only be there for that. This and the painting will be there, but everything else we'll have in stock.
All right, almost done.
All right, so we have a couple
Yes.
of joggers. One thing that we discovered over the pandemic is that everyone loves joggers, and so everyone was done with jeans and slacks and all that, and everyone has just lived in sweats and joggers over the pandemic, and so we kind of got into creating joggers, and so we're doing 2 different Star Trek joggers. The one on your right is the black jogger. You can't quite see it in the photos, but each of the name panels have different equipment that you would carry as a Starfleet officer. So you have like a phaser name label, tricorder, what else? Communicator, and then a little dilithium patch as well. And then on the left, we have our Star Trek tech jogger. So this is just a little bit more of a kind of cool little tech design. The tech jogger will also be a pre-order piece, but the black jogger will be available for pickup immediately at the show.
Oh wow.
Nice.
All right.
Didn't
love
you used to
both
have
of them so
Batman
much.
ones?
I'm sorry?
What's that, Luke?
Didn't you used to have Batman ones?
Yeah. So it's the same design as the Batman jogger. Again, that was so popular, it sold out so quickly is that we just converted into a Star Trek one. So, and then we have our we made lanyards at one for our first San Diego Comic-Con in 2017. We gave them out free for the first 30 attendees at that show. We haven't remade these, but we brought them back for Wondercon. So for the first 30 guests that come by our booth, you get a Here Within lanyard for free.
That's
Awesome.
fantastic.
By
Hey,
the
and
way,
where do
Tony. Oh,
Go
sorry,
ahead,
Jim.
Katie.
I was just
No,
gonna
you
tell
go
you, Tony. I wear my D2020 pin and my Comic-Con 2020 pin on my lanyard at work, and I get so many compliments on them.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to tell you that because I think that people don't always notice that it's a D2020 at first. They just see that it's a D20, and then as soon as they see it, they're like, because it would have all been ones. I'm like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give you that information because I don't actually know if I've been able to tell you yet. So.
Oh, thank you. Well, we never thought we'd get into making enamel pins, but again, because of the pandemic and all that, it was like, oh, well, I guess we're doing this now. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Tony,
no
where
new
is-
pins for WonderCon, but we're doing pins for San Diego coming up. So, yeah.
Cool.
All I know is one of my favorite pins of all time was from Keep Comic-Con Weird. I love that. Tony, where's your booth located?
We're in 918, so we're kind of in the middle up front, so you can't really miss us.
Right where
Pretty
you
much right in
belong.
the middle. Yeah. Yeah.
So not like LA Comic-Con, because LA Comic-Con, I didn't find your booth until Sunday.
Oh, right. Yeah.
She was
I was
wandering
like,
for
"Where?"
3 days.
I was like, I could have sworn that there was a Hero Within booth here. And I was like, where is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, does anyone have any questions for Tony before we let him go?
Can I have them all for free?
I know, right?
I think Ben will be getting the Doctor Who with that, and it'll go perfectly with his Rams hat.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
See, I have the
World
perfect
champions,
dress.
baby.
I have the perfect dress that if I could, I wore it, and then I could put that over it, and the outfit would work. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
I just want to know how to decide which Star Trek tech joggers to get, or Star Trek joggers, because the tech joggers, I really love this kind of retro look to them, to where it's like a little bit like late 80s, early 90s vibes in there, which is perfect because that also is what I love with Star Trek: The Next Generation. But then I love like that the pockets are labeled on the black ones.
Yeah.
And that would actually probably go better with my bomber jacket. So
yeah. Well, if you're at the show, you definitely can check them out and try them on and decide for yourself. So.
That's how he sold me this. He was like, try it on.
Or the easier thing is why decide? Get both. You know, that way.
There you go. There you go.
Exactly.
Tony, thank you for joining us tonight. And I just have to say, people wonder, like, sometimes it seems like, Tony's a guest on the show and he seems like he's one of our favorites. He is. Tony's one of our favorite people.
Thank you.
But it's for more than just for multiple reasons, but two big ones. One, your coats, your clothes are awesome. They're just so cool. They have a cool factor that's not just, the frumpy giant t-shirt. They just have a design aesthetic that they feel like they've been designed by a person who loves design. So there's that.
Thank you.
Number two,
and who loves the fandoms.
Number two, Tony loves the fandoms, but probably the biggest one, Tony's just one of the good guys. He's just a good guy. He's just nice. He's kind. You guys, go by, check out Tony's booth. He'll be at Hero Within, and they will take care of you. And his people, they're great as well. Yeah. So,
thank you,
Tony.
Well, if I can say one thing to close with is that it has been a long couple of years. The pandemic has been hard. It's not over yet, and it's gonna, even though we're kind of going back to normal with masks or whatever. The market, it's still taking a while for the market to bounce back, and we know it's a tough time for everybody. But for companies like myself, we're only surviving because of great people like you and fans and customers out there that are out there supporting and investing their money into the future of these different companies. And so everyone who's listening, when you go out to Wondercon, for all the artists out there in Artist Alley and the small business owners, pick something up, whether it's for yourself or for a gift, because it's been tough and we've only survived because of you all. So get out there and spend and support all these young creators and artists out there, and we'll all get through this together. So anyway, but thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Tony. I can't wait to see you all again, and we'll do a big giant high five in a few days.
That's right. Remind us of the website. Remind us of the website, Tony.
HereWithinStore.com, and then Here Within all the socials. None of this is on the website. We're about to send a newsletter out to our newsletter followers that shares everything that I just shared with you all. And then after WonderCon, and then after Star Trek Mission Chicago, which is the following weekend, then whatever's left, if there's anything left, that'll go onto the website. Actually, it'll go to our newsletter subscribers first, and then on the website. So it might take a little while to get it online, but it'll get there eventually.
All right, Tony. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.
See you this weekend. All right, bye-bye.
See you later, Tony.
Tony. All right, guys.
Actually.
Oops, let me. All right, we are going to. It seems like we're having a little bit of some internet issues tonight, so hopefully we can get through that. Just real quick.
I didn't know that was just me.
No, it's my internet looks like it's going low. Maybe Luke. Anyways, so real quick. So we gave you our Friday guests at the panel. I mean, on our who will be at our booth signing for Saturday and Sunday. Luke has lined us up a really good group of Power Rangers, and it's the same Power Rangers who will be on our panel, which Ben will be facilitating on Sunday. Woo-hoo! So without further ado, here's who we can expect. First up, Brennan Cheeseman. As I go through it, why don't you go ahead and tell people who we can have on the panel? and when they're going to
Ben,
be
you
at the
can.
booth.
How do you say Brennan's last name?
Mejia.
Mejia. Yeah. Brennan Mejia from Power Rangers Dino Charge.
When's he at the booth?
He is at the booth Saturday, 11 a.m. through 1 p.m. and also 2 p.m. through 4 p.m. and also on Sunday at 12:30 to 2 p.m. And some of these Rangers will be together as they'll have the same time. So you'll be able to do some group signings as well.
All right. Next.
Roger Velasco from Power Rangers. Yes.
Well, I was just going to say, he's new. We haven't had him on before. We haven't had him as a guest in any of our shows or panels or anything like that.
Correct. So this
And
is
he's
the first
old
time
school,
with him.
too.
It's cool. Yeah.
He's
All right,
he's
cool.
as old school as we've gone. He was like the first few seasons in. He was in Power Rangers in Space and also in Power Rangers Turbo. He'll be signing at the booth DL31 on Saturday at 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., which will also be kind of during the time of Brennan and Abraham, who will be showing shortly. And he'll be also be signing at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., and he'll be by himself for that one. And then on Sunday, he'll be at 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., and then he'll also be right after the panel from 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. So you'll be able to close out and meet him even after the panel if that's the first time you get to see him.
All right. And you mentioned Abraham.
Yes, Abraham Rodriguez. He has been on the show before. He was also on Saved by the Bell, and we were talking to him during that time. But Abraham was recently on the season Power Rangers Beast Morphers, and he will be signing both Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, it'll be 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., and also Sunday, 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m., which will be right after the panel. So Abraham is very excited. He's excited to be here. I don't think he's done a ton of conventions yet. I think he's done some, but he's really looking forward to this and really wanting to meet you all.
And he's a delightful kid. I haven't met him in person yet, but he's a delightful kid.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. One of our favorites.
Ciara Hanna. So, yeah, we've had Ciara on the show a lot. She was the first Ranger we've actually ever talked to. She's been on the show several times, and we've done a few of these events with WonderCon, and we did I don't think she was on the Comic-Con virtual one we did, but she's no stranger to the cons, and she'll be signing on Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to noon, and then on Sunday she'll be there 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. with Brennan, and also with the next one who will be Cameron Gebo.
One of our favorites.
My boy.
Yeah, Cameron.
Yeah. Son of Tom. So, yeah, Cameron and Ciara, she was from Power Rangers Mega Force, and then Cameron came in on Power Rangers Super Mega Force, so he will be joining as well. He'll just be doing the 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m., but he's playing by ear. He might hang out a little bit after the panel as well, but he's been on the show several times, been a great guy, and he even talked Joker with us one time before, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So that is our panel. Ben, what you got planned for the panel? Putting you on the spot.
Oh, man.
Just kidding.
You know, what I love to do with these panels is what I love to do if I'm interviewing anybody who's an actor, writer, producer, director, which I've been doing a lot. I've had the great fortune of doing for that #show.com. Once again, who we're broadcasting on that #show.com. I love to lob up softballs and let them just hit them out of the park. So I like to ask just fun questions, and I'm getting a little bit of feedback from somebody out there.
I was just going to say that.
We're going to talk about what the experience was like on the show. I might open it up to a little bit of, we haven't talked about this that much, but I might open it up to a little bit of audience questions. Are we able to do that, Jim? Luke, do you know? Can we have a mic on the floor or anything like that? We don't know. Am I the only one on the air right now?
I think everybody just muted because of that feedback.
I think Jim was trying to find out who the feedback was, so I think he might be muted at the moment.
I see. Well, so, right now, listen, my life's been crazy, but I'm a little bit more in the right direction right now. So for the next couple days, I'm going to be planning out the whole panel. It's going to be awesome. But it's going to be fun. We're going to, like last time we did it in person at WonderCon, which was 2019, I think. Brennan Mejia was doing like back handsprings and somersaults in front of the audience and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope a lot of people show up because it's going to be cash, it's going to be fun, and it's going to be a good time for all.
Cashmere.
Can we try to
I was
figure
like,
out what that feedback
It's
is?
not mine. It's not mine. I have headphones in, so I know it's not mine.
Shouldn't be me. Usually I'm fine. I'm far enough from the laptop, but
Is it me? Is it me?
I don't know. We can figure it out.
Okay.
Jim was next to the camera. Wasn't me.
So, anyways, that's going to be 2:30 on Sunday. It's in room. Oh, geez, what room was it again? Because it's one. They gave us one of the biggest rooms at the convention center, North 200B. I guess it holds around 1,000 to 1,500 people. So come fill it up.
Every inch of it.
It's going to be awesome. All right, let's jump in. We don't want to keep everybody all night. We got some sleep to get in because we're not going to sleep at WonderCon this weekend. We're going to talk about some of our panels that we are most excited about getting to. One thing that I did notice about this year's WonderCon is that I didn't know what to expect. I think a lot of people didn't know what to expect as far as panels. We didn't know if it'd be way less than years past, and it is less. There are fewer panels than years less, but they have a robust. This is myself repeating like crazy. It's probably me. Anyways. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and throw it out to Katie. Katie, tell us about some of the panels that you have seen that you are interested in checking out.
Yeah, so there wasn't a lot for me. WonderCon is usually a pretty low panels con for me, but WonderCon is good for people in the industry to watch classes, go to panels about just the industry in general. There's lots of comics related panels, lots of cosplay type panels. So if you're into any of those things, definitely check out the full panel schedule on the website at comiccon.org on the WonderCon tab. But I am going to shout out some panels of people that are either friends of the con guy or friends of mine personally who will be having convention appearances. My friend Cole, who is a fellow podcaster and content creator like myself, is going to be part of the pop culture fantasy draft panel. They have done this panel at other conventions, but it says, I'm just going to read the description because it's the easiest way to describe it. Fantasy drafts and pop culture collide in this debate-style program where panelists pick a team of pop culture characters to overcome a slew of ridiculous audience-chosen scenarios. And it has a whole bunch of other people from Perception Studio and other content creators. Also, my friend is doing that panel, and that is on April 3rd, Sunday at 11:30 in room 23AB. It's usually pretty fun to see their panels. They're very, very entertaining. So check that one out. And then we did talk about David's. Did you guys talk about his comic book signing? You just talked about his signing. He is also part of a panel, which is the Gay Geeks and Where to Find Them, and it's in room 300D on Saturday at 5:30. As you guys know, I am one person who is very into diversity and how getting to see more diverse content in the media. And so this panel is trying to help people who are looking to go into the industry, who are LGBTQIA+, and just kind of their journeys and tips and tricks on how to break into it. And David will be on that panel. So definitely go check it out. A panel I have been to in the past is the Her Universe Fashion Show Update. Every year at Comic-Con, Her Universe has a fashion show. Of course, Her Universe is a company run by Ashley Eckstein, who does geek chic fashion for Hot Topic and Disney, other places as well. And every year there's a winner, and the winners get to design a line for Hot Topic that will be sold. This is where they talk about that upcoming line. You get to see pictures, you get to hear their experiences designing it, and you also get to hear a discussion about the upcoming fashion show and any of the updates. They'll tell you the submission dates, all that different stuff like that. So, and that's going to be in room 207 on Saturday at 2 o'clock, and it's always really great. So highly recommend that, especially if you're a fashion person and a nerd. And then this one, no idea what it's going to be like, but I went to a Psychology of Harry Potter panel once at WonderCon, and it was so interesting. It was one of the most interesting panels I've ever been to. I'm not going to read off all the people that are in it because they are doctors and psychologists, so I don't even know if any of you know who they are, but Psychology of Cult TV Shows, How to Cope with Loneliness Through Pop Culture. It's on Saturday at 7, which is kind of late. It's a late panel in 213 CD. And this is the description of it. It says, the rates of depression and PTSD have significantly increased during the COVID pandemic. Rates of loneliness have been referred to as a global epidemic, contributing to a vast increase in suicide rates. This panel will focus on how we can find a sense of belonging and refuge in TV shows such as WandaVision, Supernatural, Hawkeye, and others. And as someone who does throw herself into a story, whether it be a video game or movies or TV, I can totally relate to this, and I think a lot of people will also find that they're not alone in this panel because there'll be a lot of other people there with them, but it's also very interesting to hear psychologists talk about social media in senses like this. I think it's absolutely fascinating. Last but not least, Saturday night, Masquerade. Comic-Con, Wondercon tradition. You get to see insane costumes that people put hours upon hours upon hours of time into. It goes late. I believe it starts at like 8:30, usually goes to 11:30. So it's a long haul. And if you guys have been to a WonderCon one, it's longer. It's longer than the Comic-Con one. So
when are you or Ben gonna do it? So we can come cheer you on.
For me, it's mostly a time and money thing. I just haven't been able to. I have an idea that I would do in the Masquerade. It's just a lot of logistics to find out for me to make that costume first.
Ben and Bree need to do Duel of the Fates. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was actually part of a group that entered the San Diego Comic-Con Masquerade back in 2015, I think. I think it was 2015 or possibly 16.
That's before Katie was born.
Yeah, that was before Katie was born. But yeah, and that was my first experience with a Masquerade at a con, and it is a long experience. It is steeped in weird tradition. So if you go in, just expect that there's like a lot of stuff that happens. There's the repetitive cheering thing that the crowd does in between each.
The worst thing. It's the worst
like
part.
A call and response, and they add something between each act, so that by the time you get to the last costume group, it's like 10 minutes. This repeated.
It's my least favorite part about the Masquerade.
So it's strange. I generally tend to skip the Masquerade just because I'm like, I know a lot of costumers, I know a lot of cosplayers, and so I get to see a lot of this kind of stuff outside of the Masquerade or on the con floor or something like that. But if you are way into costuming, wardrobing, making your own stuff, seamstry, contests and masquerades are intense. They are intense, Joel the Geek. You are absolutely right. But if you are really into that, definitely go, because you will see some amazing work. It is a time commitment that I would rather spend in the lobby with everybody else.
Yeah. And then just to wrap off what I was going to say, even if I'm not going to panels, I will be on the floor probably a good 80% of the time, whether it be at our booth or it be Wandering Artist Alley. Last time for LA Comic-Con, I did a art raffle, which I plan to do again, where I wander through the first 2 days collecting cards of the artists that I like and writing down the art that I like of theirs, and then drawing 1, 2, 3 at random at the end of the con to decide which ones to buy. And I will be doing that again. So if you are an artist and you have stuff, come let me know, and I'll try to hit you up. So.
Hey, maybe you do that on social media. I want to see how that goes. That sounds very cool. All right, who's next? Who is next? By the way, I just do want to say one more thing about what Katie just said. That Joel the Geek was saying that psychology one that you were talking about. That psychology, especially coming out of a pandemic when so many people have kind of felt a heaviness because they've been so disconnected for so long. That's a cool panel. I'm glad they're doing that one. That one sounds cool. All right, who's next? Who is next? Derek. Let's go, Derek.
Sure. I've got this. I mean, there were a bunch that I thought sounded interesting, so I'm going to try not to name every single one, or if I do, just try and get through some quickly. On Friday, I mean, I've got some fandom ones that I really enjoy, but also I like going to the stuff that kind of like Katie was talking about, a psychology of panel. I went to the Psychology of Harry Potter panel a few times actually, and that's really fascinating to me. But I also, I like the fandom ones, but I also like these cerebral ones and stuff that talks about themes. And with that, spiritual themes in comics is Friday at 2 p.m. in room 211. I think that kind of stuff is interesting. I think with comic books, we always get this stuff with like superheroes. Are they, rooted in kind of this like very Western Christian tradition? Sometimes you've got an obvious messianic thing going on with Superman, but then you've got other stuff like, Batman, who's more dark and interesting. And well, it depends on who you ask whether he's more interesting or not. But like, there's all this kind of stuff because you have stories of like redemption and duty and morality and all that comes through. And there's often a very spiritual element in there too. And then of course with Wonder Woman, you've got the gods of like Greek mythology and everything. Anyway, that stuff's interesting. Also on Friday, there's a behind the scenes with the Borg Queen from Star Trek Picard, which I'm not caught up on this season of Picard, but just about anything Star Trek like that behind the scenes and some of the actors from the shows. I love seeing that. That's 3 p.m. in North 200B. There's Middle Earth coming to your TV this fall at 4:30 in North 200A.
So cool.
Yes, which I'm still like a little unsure what to expect with this Amazon Prime series, but I'm sure I'm going to have to check it out. And this panel is hosted by people from the OneRing.net, which is, the oldest, probably the oldest and biggest Lord of the Rings fan site online.
It is. It's the oldest one online.
Yeah. I was pretty sure it's the oldest one. It might be the biggest, but I think so. It is the big one, the kind of the biggest one you would go to. Another one that's interesting, that's just like one of those thematic cerebral ones, is Scare Your Children, Horror as Allegory.
I love it.
Yeah, see, I've never been a huge fan of horror, but this idea of like why people are drawn to horror, I do find really interesting. And what I do find interesting about the horror movies I've seen, when they're done really well, are just the themes that they tackle and what it says about human nature. And also like, classic fairy tales, some of them, were written for children, but were still really dark and creepy. And I think that kind of thing is interesting because so often in our culture now we think, oh, if it's made for children, we need to sanitize it. But no, traditionally, in the past, that was always, let children know that there are dangers in the world and teach them how to avoid those dangers or to overcome them. And that's
one of my pet peeves has always been. And Derek, you as a man raising children, you'll have a better perspective on this, but it seemed like children's programming and the appropriateness of movies and stuff in the 50s and 60s. Okay, we've come a long way, but Walt Disney scared the bejesus out of people with his movies. I tell you what, but movies today, they're just sanitized, and if it's for children, it's just so precious. Let's scare these children. It makes them better people.
The ending of Fantasia was not scary. What are you talking about?
Within
Darby O'Gill and the little people, not scary. Yeah. Just kidding.
Jim, there's an easy solution for that. You can still show them the older movies.
True.
Yeah.
True.
When I'm a dad, the only movie my kids are going to watch is The Dark Crystal. That's all. That
creepy.
Creepy. 4.
Yeah, there's one quote that I love by C.S. Lewis, who was one of my favorite fantasy authors. Definitely my favorite growing up and still one of my favorites today, if not my number one favorite.
For kids,
there was something he said once about fairy stories are important, not because they teach children that dragons exist, but because they teach them that they can be defeated. And I think that's really interesting, which is why this panel sounds really cool. Another one related to the psychology stuff is one called Nerds with PTSD, Breaking the Mental Health Stigma with Cosplay, Fandom, and Pop Culture. That's 6 p.m. in 213 CD, which I think is interesting because when I did go to that Psychology of Harry Potter panel, I did ask about, because they had a former Marine on the panel talking about using books while he's worked as I think either as a therapist or in some kind of counseling role with service members with PTSD. And I asked about that and how that's come into play because, in my time in the Army, I've not deployed myself, but I've known people who have. I've seen the effects of PTSD, and I did have a friend who committed suicide. And so I think this topic is really interesting. And I remember with this friend, like some of the stuff we connected on was talking about the show American Gods and playing some nerdy board games once or twice. And I do believe that there is a real power in storytelling that can help people open up. I'm just interested to see a panel like this and see where professionals actually talk about that sort of thing. But again, that's Friday, 6 p.m. in 213 CD. Are we going to talk about the other days? Because I feel like I'm going to take a while if I go too long here.
What do you mean the other days? That this is just one day?
Thanks,
That's
Jim.
Friday schedule.
Yeah.
that's-
okay.
That's
All right,
Friday,
chapter
Friday.
one.
Let me just name
Wait,
a few from Saturday. I won't go through the whole list that I had, but there are several. There's okay.
Wait, can I
State of
ask Katie?
2022.
Katie, did you do more than just Friday?
Yeah, I did all 3 days.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead,
Great.
Derek.
Saturday, the State of Play 2022 tabletop games are taking over. That's 1 p.m. and 300B. I'm a big tabletop game fan. Behind me are my books. The cabinets right over there are full of games.
Yep.
And I love that sort of thing. I like to see where tabletop gaming is going, and I think that's really interesting. Then later in the evening on Saturday, 7 p.m., 213 AB is Klingon Lifestyles, the Wondercon here. Now, every year at San Diego Comic-Con, Klingon Lifestyles is performed. It's a fan-made play. They do a different one every year. It's amazing. It's almost like seeing community theater if it were just all a bunch of nerds. But
Isn't it? Isn't it though?
Okay, but special nerds. It's like Comic-Con's answer to community theater, but it's original content. And it's like, impressive cosplay too, because these people have put a lot into it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So this year, though, they're, doing a version at WonderCon, and it's going to be a bit talking about how it's an off year because things have been so different and now they're, But I always think that one's a lot of fun. And, because they're doing an original thing each year, who knows exactly what you can expect, but it will be a good time. Then at the same time as that, on Saturday night, there's the premiere of an independent film called Lumpia with a Vengeance. This is the WonderCon premiere screening. So this is an independent, from what I understand, a sci-fi project, and I think there were comics and a movie. But lumpia is a Filipino food, and
It's delicious.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's my wife has often gotten it and cooked it and taken it to events, and people are just amazed, and it all disappears very quickly. It's like little tiny egg rolls and this amazing sweet and sour sauce usually. But whenever I go to events that my in-laws have, like my mother-in-law makes a ton of it, and it still goes really fast. Anyway, Lumpia with a Vengeance is just a perfect title, and I really like this movie.
I saw that. I didn't read it, and I was like, "Is this a panel? Is this a movie?" Like, I didn't read the information, but that's amazing. I thought it was the title did. Class. The title did catch my eye.
Yeah, and I need to look at the description again, but I believe I saw Danny Trejo listed in the cast.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I really do believe that I saw that, but my memory could be off because I was looking at lots of panels and I was like, "Oh, that sounds cool. That sounds cool." Finally, on Sunday, we're getting the Bob's Burgers movie panel, 200A.
I figured you'd jump on that one. And by the way, what's that noise that's beeping in the background, somebody?
I don't know. That's not me.
Oh, everybody, let's mute yourself. Just Derek.
It's Katie. It's
Okay.
Katie.
Mute myself. It was Doogie Howser.
All right. So also on Sunday, there's Law of Star Trek. They have like a bunch of legal experts looking at how law is handled in there. Could be really nerdy. Okay, it's definitely going to be really nerdy. It might be boring for some people if you don't like Star Trek, but if that's the case, what is wrong with you? That's at 2 p.m. on Sunday in room 207. And then there's a Future of Doctor Who panel at 4 p.m. in room 207, talking about the direction the show is headed in the coming seasons now that there's going to be another showrunner.
Jim's
Jim's mic is muted. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
That was the longest couple seconds ever on our show of silence. You're welcome, audience. You're welcome.
All right. So, no, you kind of skimmed over Bob's Burgers. The whole cast is going to be there.
Oh,
that's
which is
that's
by
the way, geez.
I think that might be that's going to be battling it out for the most popular panel of the weekend, and it's on a Sunday, which is Sunday morning. That's fantastic. I'm so excited about that. Jonathan's still naked. Where is Tony Kim when we need him? Get that man some clothes.
Get that. clothes.
Derek, do you have anything else?
No, I was just going to say it might take a little while for Hero Within stuff to get there because you got to pre-order those Star Trek bands. They're not available yet. Sorry, Jonathan.
This is true. All right. Ben, Luke, who wants to go?
It's my turn.
All right, go ahead.
Luke and I already decided it in a third party chat. So my WonderCon weekend is looking a little weird because without checking the dates, my wife and I promised my father-in-law that we'd take him to the Boysenberry Festival at Knott's Berry Farm on Saturday.
Oh, cool!
And he's been wanting to go, and you know it's good, a solid bonding time with the in-laws. So I got to do that. However, I will be staying at WonderCon on Friday night and Saturday night, so I'll be coming back.
What was that? Good. So wait. Hold Ben. Is everybody all right?
Yeah.
So many
they come in
noises
threes.
tonight.
Where's the second and third one?
I didn't hear anything. What was it?
A
I think
crash.
it's that chair that sounds like a giant sneeze.
Huh.
All right.
Anyway,
You're welcome again, people.
Saturday, I'll be going to the Boysenberry Festival and then coming back watching Kansas play Villanova in the Final Four, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. And then I'll be coming back to WonderCon in the evening on Saturday night. So I'm probably going to miss most of the panels on Saturday. However, on Friday, April 1st, there is the panel with Kevin Smith. That's what it's called. The panel with Kevin Smith. World's worst Kevin Smith salesman tries to sell you on Kevin Smith as a person, podcaster, pop culture commentator, writer, director, and general nuisance. Come here and see A Little Clerks 3, which I'm particularly excited about. I'm a huge fan of the Buisk universe. That is the Kevin Smith universe that contains characters like Brody and Jay and Silent Bob and Amy and all these different characters. Yeah. So I'm really excited for that one. That one's going to be at 7:30 on Friday night, April 1. It's a 1-hour panel at what room is it in? It doesn't even say what room it's in.
It's usually like whatever the biggest room is.
Yeah, that's gonna be the big main. Whatever.
It's the equivalent of Ballroom 20.
So
North
200A.
North 200A. There we go.
Isn't that the same one ours is?
No, ours is 200B. 200A is the one room bigger than us.
Gotcha.
I can't believe we got that big of a room.
I
and then
can't
of course
either.
On Sunday in North 200B, we're going to be hosting It's Morphin Time, celebrating 29 years of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as we mentioned before. And I am, again, I'm really stoked about that one. I love talking to the Rangers. And again, we're just going to have a good old time, talk about their time on the show, their experience, and maybe Brennan Mejia is going to do some stunts in front of us like he did last time. But it's going to be a blast. But other than that, I'm just stoked to like swing by our booth, meet some of the Rangers that are going to be signing there. You know, we've got great guests, but I'm just going to be so excited to be back on a convention floor. I know we did LA Comic-Con. That was kind of a last-ish minute thing. I did a little work at LA Comic-Con with that hashtag show, so I didn't really get to just walk around and enjoy the show. So I'm super stoked to just get there on Friday afternoon, walk around, enjoy the show, watch Jim get drunk in the evening.
Won't happen. I know.
Yeah, watch Luke get drunk in the evening.
No.
Okay,
hey, my mom was watching. She's not watching now, but she was watching.
My mom was watching too, so I got to be a good boy.
But yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting back, walking around a con, checking out cosplay, checking out booths, merch, stopping by, signing up to buy all of Tony Kim's stuff. And that's what I'm most excited about. But Kevin Smith, absolutely huge fan of Kevin Smith. So I'm going to check that out on Friday night.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Cheeseman, can I throw a couple out and then let you kind of end with us?
Sure. I'll kind of skim through or power through a couple things. But go.
Well, no, I don't have a bunch. There's one in particular that let me see. I'm going to go see Tony's Survivor's Guide to Building a Brand on Saturday morning. I just think that's super interesting. Also on Saturday morning in room 208, Everyone's a Critic, being a pop culture in an online age. There's a difference between being a critic a true critic and just being a mean, nasty person. And we need to talk about that. Talk about bring some civility to having differences of opinion. I think that's a very important thing to talk about. My panels that I'm so interested in are on Saturday. Monsters are for everyone. They're going to be talking about Godzilla in there, of course. So that's one of my favorites. And then finally on Saturday, if Bigfoot is out there, meet the team that will find them Saturday, 3:30. Expedition Bigfoot team of Bryce Johnson, Mara Mayer, Russell Accord, and Ronnie LeBlanc. They're from the Travel Channel Travel Channel Discovery Plus show about finding Bigfoot. And yeah, it's as hokey as all get out, but I just can't get enough of it. I love it.
What a great title. It's a great title for a panel.
The only thing to make that panel better. Do you?
I believe in Bigfoot. Oh, yeah. I think he could exist.
We've talked about this on the show.
At the very least, I think he's plausible.
I agree.
Or
plausible.
We believe in Bigfoot.
There's got to be more than just one, for crying out loud. They've been around for so long, or at least the legends of them have. Pat Jankowicz would have very many words to say about this. We got to ask him. He played Bigfoot. All right, Cheeseman, what do you got? What do you got, Cheese?
Well, I think, there's a ton of stuff, here, especially as a creative person Saturday, Sunday, and especially Saturdays. So if you're looking to get into the arts and the creative thing of, creating an online business, kind of like we're doing, or getting into comic development and all that, or even filmmaking, there's really a ton of stuff and a lot of creative people. And if anything, if you're a creative person, this is an awesome place to network. And Jim will be on a panel on Sunday talking about that as well. But, as a filmmaker, there's,
I guess I should mention that panel. I'll let you do it.
Well, I'll let you kind of end with that. How about that?
Okay,
I'll let you.
Sounds good.
Come in there. So on Saturday, they have Bringing Spider-Man and Batman to Life through visual effects, where they got legit filmmakers, visual effects studio, Crafty Apes, Andrew. I'm going to butcher these names. I'm just going to say people that did Batman, people that did Spider-Man No Way Home, people that did Moon Knight, people did the Batman, Spider-Man No Way Home. There's just all these visual effects people. That one's starting at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Saturday in room 207. That looks pretty awesome. And then there's the Business of Independent Arts and Comics. That's another one where you can really learn the market of comics. That's 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. room 209. Then there's Storytelling Across Mediums, podcasts, TV, film, and more, kind of like this one, where you can learn from all these people that have been doing it for a while that are like us, the con guy, at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. at room 230. And then as a screenwriter, something I'm very passionate about, there's the writer's journey, navigating the new entertainment marketplace at 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Look at this. You're getting a film school just going to WonderCon. So you can go to school.
Who needs USC?
Yeah. Who needs the big colleges when you can go to these things, meet people, and learn from the best? So yeah, this writer's journey one, it's 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. at room 208. Then at 2:00 p.m. to 3 p.m. there's How to Get News Coverage, something we need to do more of besides bringing on fake Star Wars people by accident. But any publicity is good publicity, as they say.
No,
this one is
was
also
not.
room 230. Yeah, I mean,
I don't
room
know,
213
Jim.
CD. I mean, when you
We
have
need a
the
real
new
night of
Chewbacca
practice again.
do
Wait,
a
wait,
meme
what'd you say,
about
Derek?
you, it's a success, right?
Yeah.
Also, I
think
think there's a shout out that we need to give. We have an old friend of the con guy who's in the chat.
Ryan
Ryan
Wilson. Woo! Why did Luke
Long
disappear?
time no see. He apparently wanted to leave because he doesn't like Ryan. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't know.
Ryan, there's only room for either Ryan or Luke in on the show. So if I'm gonna probably remove him for a second. That's odd. But Derek, what was saying about our Star Wars show?
Yeah, okay. Even that bad publicity ended up being good publicity because we did get to have an actual night of Ren on the show as a result.
Yes.
True.
And Ray's stunt double.
And Ray's stunt double. Yeah.
I thought that was fantastic. It turned out for the best.
Yeah.
one panel that Luke reminded me of that I love it. And Derek's been on it before. Derek was on this panel when I had COVID. I was down sick with COVID. I could not attend this panel. I'm like, Derek, please do the panel for me. So that was like 2 years ago. But how to have a full-time career on a part-time schedule for creative people who are trying to leverage their part-time work into full-time work, and how you balance things, how you make things work, software that can help make that work. Cheeseman has completely left the building. Huh. All right.
He just sent a message and said his laptop died.
Oh, okay.
He
went over an hour and his laptop's like, nope.
There's this thing called plugs. Anyways, electrical plugs. But that said, it's full-time on a part-time career. It's been going on for, I think they're in their 13th year. And the room gets full. And basically, we do a little tiny bit of introduction, and then we say, here's the microphone. If you are interested in asking any kind of questions about developing a career creatively, come and ask questions. There was a guy, I just always remember one of the big success stories was one year a guy came up and asked, how do I get published? And so there was discussion, people talk. The next year he comes back and holds up the book that was published. I'm like, it was
amazing.
Fantastic. So I love that panel. And I must say, Topher Davila, one of our friends who was on that panel, he is such a friend of the show. We don't see him here a lot, but he is printing us up some cards this week. He put us in touch. He helped us with we have never had a booth at Comic-Con or San Diego Comic-Con or WonderCon before. And he is the one helping us to navigate, because it is complicated. I'm going to tell you, it is ridiculously complicated. I'm so glad we're doing it, but wow, it's hard. Anyways, one thing I did want to shout out before we left, because we are kind of here at the end of the show, and we're not going to be able to go through all of these, it's not quite like San Diego, but there are a number of offsites that are offsites and photo shoot, big photo gatherings that are happening outside the convention center. And I do want to, and me and Katie were talking about this before the show, I'm going to give proper credit to the San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog, because they have pulled together this list that I'm looking at right now. And it's a pretty good list. And Friday, 9:00 at night, the Digital LA Wonder Party will be held inside the Hilton Anaheim. I don't have a lot of information, but there is a link. We'll try to share that out. Also at 9:00, there's a live show at 10:00, the EG''S WonderCon after party at Brewheim. It's at 1931 East Right Circle in Anaheim. I don't know what that is. So I think it's a brewery.
Most likely a brewery. It's probably in between the convention center and Disney area.
Yep.
Most likely.
All right. Then let me see. There's also a lot photo shoots. There's a Loki Variants happy hour meetup happening on Saturday night. That sounds cool. I would love to find that if I can, except for it's at a nearby hotel is all they're saying. There's Marvel photo shoots, Moon Knight cosplay photo shoots. By the way, Moon Knight, I just can't wait. There's a Naruto meetup. Okay, there is a WonderCon after party. It's been canceled. All right. Sunday.
And if we find out more, we'll tweet them too.
We'll send all this stuff out. Most of it is photo shoots and meetups. A Bob's Burgers meetup was just added. It's going to be 11:15 on Sunday morning. There's a cosplay group photo shoot for those of us over 30. It's just a lot of stuff going on. So we'll, if you guys want to go over and check that out, we'll get all that stuff on the website, theconguide.com. Anything in closing, guys, as we close? Oh,
yeah,
there are still hotels, right, Katie? There's still hotels to get around the convention center.
Not on the official hotel link for the convention. You're gonna have to just look around the convention center. There are quite a few rooms still available. It's just not as right next to the convention center. Those ones are all booked up as part, especially with Comic-Con announcing that you could win Comic-Con badges with that sale. So they all went away, but I did book a hotel today. So they are available, but you're probably going to have to spend between $150 to $250 a night, which is pretty normal for the con for them to jack up those prices. It's also near Disneyland, which is also another reason why those prices go high. So, but I did want to mention another thing about hotels before we wrap up, because even though we are going into WonderCon next weekend, updates for San Diego Comic-Con are coming in hot. So heads up, if you do not mind with being downtown for San Diego Comic-Con, you can book your early bird hotel now.
You mean if you don't mind not being downtown, right?
Yes, if you don't mind not staying as close to the convention
Okay.
center as possible, you can book a room on the early bird sale. I don't know how many they have. The one stipulation with the early bird sale is you do have to pay in full at the booking of your hotel. They are going to be further out, so it's most likely going to be a shuttle to the convention center type situation. But if you do not want to do the lottery, that's how you can do that. But I'm assuming the lottery will be happening probably, knowing their time frame, probably as soon as we get back from WonderCon, because we just spent hundreds of dollars, so why not spend more? That's usually how it works.
I have an update on that. I do have an update on the hotel sale.
Okay.
The vendors have been told that they will be getting their hotel allotments in middle of April, so they always go first. And so general hotel sale will probably happen very quickly thereafter. So it's going to be probably this third week in April or later.
So they'll probably send us the email the week after WonderCon where they're like, hey, this is how it's happening. Then you fill out the form and all your wants and wishes and hopes and dreams and all that, and then they book them. But we'll update you guys that as it comes around. And last but not least, if you are a professional, check your status again, because they have been reinstating professional registrations active until 8/1/2022, based off of all of the buzz about that, I'm assuming. So if you are a professional, they did not give us the chance to re-up. Hopefully that's good news for Comic-Con as well, but we won't know yet, because they did already announce that general admission will not be happening for San Diego Comic-Con because it is rollover from 2020. So yeah, but that's it.
Thank you, Katie. Cheeseman is having such a hard time. One last piece of advice I was going to give people, and I always like to say this: WonderCon is one of the best places for meeting people. You can meet people everywhere in San Diego Comic-Con, but it's like, you know, you're meeting a million people.
You're not allowed to stop
WonderCon,
so
after every day's convention, if you want to meet industry folks, people in the comic book industry, people in the TV industry, you can find them usually at one of the lounges in either the Hilton or the Marriott, right there outside the convention center. It goes until about 10 or 11. So don't be shy. Go out there, meet people. You know, everybody's dropping off. Anyways, so that's one piece of advice. Have fun there. That's where I've met so many people that I've gotten to know at the cons. That's where we met David. That's where we got to know Tony. That's some of Ben's friends that he introduced us to there. So get out there and meet people. Does anybody else have any closing thoughts before we close the show tonight? Any other pieces of advice? I think we covered just about everything.
Is a magical place.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we said everything that could be said. Really, everything that I wanted to say about WonderCon, I think we covered. It is like, it's big enough to be exciting, but not so big and crowded that you feel suffocated, and not so big that it's impossible to get in too. And all those things make it just a really good convention. I've had a great time there in years past. I'm really sad that I'm not going to be able to go this year, unless I can sneak out at some point. We'll see.
Well, we have your badge for you. By the way, since Ryan either is or
out the window, Derek.
Since Ryan either is or was on the show, I just can't resist. We got to see it. Is it playing, by the way?
Yeah, it's playing. You just can't hear the sound.
The Star Wars Celebration dance.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no sound. All right, guys. So with that, Luke, since you've been off, any closing thoughts as we close the show tonight?
Oh boy,
Luke, as he freezes. Are you there?
There's a lot of stuff on there. There's many rooms, lots of stuff going on at the same time. So just check it out. There's something for everyone. Again, like Katie mentioned, the floor is a lot of fun. You can almost spend like a full day there. Like, it's a gigantic floor, lots of things for sale, like literally from somebody's like whole lifetime. You know, there could have been something from like 100 years ago till, you know, present day. Like, there's so much stuff there. So check that out. Support the artist. It's been a hard couple of years, but help them out. And
cool. All right, guys, as we end, Ben, I would love if you could take us out tonight, my friend.
Well, first off, I would like to say to Derek, kapla.
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 Yeah, just so glad that, okay, listen, the pandemic is still a thing that exists. You know, there's China shut down right now. It's still out there. I always encourage people. I am now a former employee of the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health, but I would encourage people, please consult your medical professional. If you have not gotten a COVID-19 vaccine yet, please consider it. I strongly encourage it, and always follow local guidelines. And even if the local guidelines are a little more loose and you feel a little bit more comfortable wearing a mask, that's great. If you don't want to wear a mask and you don't have to by guidelines, then you don't have to. But
You do have WonderCon, though.
At WonderCon, yeah, barring guidelines, but or rules or local rules or whatever. But yeah, so be kind to each other. We're getting a lot of those things that we missed for the last 2 years back. And the worst thing to do would be to get in and just bitch at each other the whole time instead of enjoying the fact that we have all these things that we've missed for so long back. So I, for one, am really excited. If I have to wear a mask, I'm going to wear a mask. If I don't have to, I might not. I don't know. But I'm just excited to get back, mix it up with some nerds, see some cosplay, buy some stuff I don't need, have some drinks with friends, and enjoy being a human being in contact with other human beings. Or beings, I don't know. Maybe, Prime Directives, I don't know.
Just beings.
Anyway, Derek, if you can get caught up on season 2 of Picard, because it's wild.
Yes.
My last thoughts are go see The Batman. It's 3 hours, but it's worth it. Rock Chalk Jayhawk beat Villanova. And the reason I'm always drinking out of this red cup is because whenever Ben Cleaver shows up, it's always a party. And thanks for watching the Con Guy here on that#show.com.
Bye, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks for listening to The Con Guy Show, the official program of theconguy.com. Find us on the Weeby Geeks Collective or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And now on sci-fi.radio, Saturdays at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, both AM and PM. That's 9 o'clock Greenwich. It's sci-fi for your Wi-Fi.